Turn it up.
From the YBA Phoenix Fitness 24/7 basketball facility in Rockland, California, it's Coach's Rize Time with Coach C. Collins.
Get it started. 3, 2, 1.
Coach's Rize Time.
Yep, it's Coach C. Collins here with another Coach's Rize Time. A little subset of the main show About That Life podcast where I give you my insight on an aspect of basketball, AU basketball. Maybe something you want to learn, something you want to think about. If you don't, hey, then you can just go ahead and skip this and watch the main show. But for those who are sticking around, checking it out, I appreciate you. Since you're here, maybe check out some of the other episodes of the main show About That Life podcast. Listen to other Coaches Rize Times. For those who've been supporting since day one, thank you very much. You're really appreciated. I see from the analytics, our views are moving up. People are listening, taking notice, and it's really appreciated. If you get a chance, go on YouTube. You can check us out there. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that follow. That would be really great to help us out with the algorithm. If you hit on the audio, hit the follow, leave a review. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's anything I can improve on or we can improve on the show for the main show About That Life podcast. One small click for you is a big help for us. And, of course, thank you to those Patreon members and everybody else helping us out. Thank you to our sponsors like Dr. Dish, West Coast Legends. Really appreciate everything you guys are doing. And, you know, that's it's really is taking back that the popularity of the show is gaining steam. So hopefully we keep giving you good guests and things you'll enjoy. So let's get right to it. Today's topic, I wanted to talk about buy-in. I wanted to talk about buy-in from your players. How important as a coach is buy-in for your athletes? Just so we understand, parents, anyone who's new to sports culture, just so you understand what I mean by buy-in, it means basically having the psychological effect of your athlete as a coach, because I'm speaking as a coach, your athlete believing in your system wholeheartedly and believing in the philosophies and the game plans in which you try to teach. One of the hardest things I believe can be as a coach, especially as athletes get older, bigger, faster, stronger, better, and a higher IQ, buy-in is one of the hardest things to get. The highest I've coached is collegiately. I've never coached professionally, not ABA, PBL, IBA, or MBA, none of that. But I can imagine how difficult it can be to get buy-in from grown adults. That's how come guys like Eric Spoelstra, Phil Jackson, take your pick. I mean, Steve Kerr, Mark Jackson, what am I not thinking of? The coach from the Heat. I don't know why I'm not thinking of him right now. Sorry about that, y'all. But either way, I'm just saying even at the professional level, those guys can Pat Riley. Sorry, there you go. So you guys can get these guys have a history of getting great buy-in out their players and getting the most out of their players. I am of a firm belief that true high-level athletes want to be coached, just like they want to be trained. Think about it like this. Stephen Curry has a shooting coach. I think he has like 2 or 3 shooting coaches. One that's his main one. And it's safe to say he understands how to shoot the basketball. If argue all you want, but I believe he's the best shooter I've ever seen in my life and in my lifetime. And we should all be fortunate enough to be alive to see this man perform night in, night out in action. But there is a reason the Warriors are doing well. It's not just because of the particular athletes. I mean, this needs to be understood. If someone's in the NBA, it's because they are extremely, extremely talented. So let's make that clear. So there's no shortage of talent in the NBA. There's no shortage of size. But the relationship cultivated between coach and player plays a huge part in how a coach can have success. Doc Rivers, I think, gets great buy-in and good mentally with his players. X's and O's sometimes he might get beat, or he doesn't make the proper adjustments, unfortunately, in some of his collapses at the professional level. But can't give that 100% knock on him. Sometimes his players just don't show up, and that's not his fault. But that's a whole nother conversation. Buy-in as a AAU coach, as a coach in any aspect, has to be the forefront. However, let's break it down little by little. When you get kids, I want to say I call this age group anyway, the open mind age, where all they want to do is absorb, the sponge age. They want to, absorb, learn, and just be taught the game. When they're at that age, that's between, I want to say age 9, no, even younger than that. I want to say age 7 to about 12 or 13. Everything is new. Everything is absorbed. They just want to make the coach happy. They want to make their parents happy. It's no different for adolescent psychology as when kids are younger, they're looking for parental approval. As they get older, they're looking for peer approval. It's no different for that aspect. They want to make coach happy. They want to win. They want to have fun. That's the ultimate objective. By 13, 14, especially 15, 16, now it becomes more of how to get through to the player, how to really get them to believe in what you're believing in. Now, most kids are inherently, I shouldn't say I believe, in my experience, are good kids. They do want to learn. Even if they come from some of the most fucked up circumstances, they typically do want to learn. They just want someone that they feel they can believe in completely, and someone they could trust. But as kids have progressively gotten better through trainers, through social media, through YouTube, things like that, the quote-unquote ego, they will challenge you, and they will test your knowledge. They have to feel like you know what you're doing and what you're talking about. Tyronn Lue was able to coach LeBron. Now, I understand, different analysts and say, like, LeBron coached himself. Tyronn Lue didn't do anything. There's some instances where I think definitely some coaching was going on, and Tyronn Lue was not just a yes man for LeBron. Now, again, you can, have a difference of opinion, but that's just what I saw. With that understanding, it's just basically I want, the buy-in has to be, how can I put it? You have to be able to reach the kids. It's not a racial thing. It's not a did you play basketball or not play basketball thing. It's a gravitas. It's your swag, the way you carry yourself. Do you know what you're talking about when every kid asks you a question, even if it's a dumb question? Can you explain it and break it down? Getting buy-in from the kids is honestly easier than the parents. But buy-in is extremely important in order to achieve success. I believe it's why my teams have thrived. You go around California, ask a lot of people who've played some of the top YBA teams, and they played against that light-skinned coach with the tattoos and braids. There are plenty of coaches that respect my hustle and what I was doing and what my teams brought. Have I lost? Absolutely. I don't win all the time, but I want to say I win more than I lose. I have Team Snap, and it keeps record of all my teams and their wins and losses, and trust me, it's a lot more wins than loses. I don't think that's a reflection of how super great I am, but I do think it's a reflection of the kids buying into the system and the system working. So coaches, my advice to you, a couple things. Explain things. Be willing to be challenged and be questioned by parents and players alike. Another thing, try to make a family feel. Make your families interact with each other. Make them go out to eat together. Make them learn how to, do team building exercises. Make players be leaders. Make your practice led by the players. I just coached my 4th and 5th graders today, and I had plenty of my 5th graders telling guys, hey, jump to the pass. Hey, talk. Because I set the tone, right? I set the tone from day one and got the buy-in from some of the best kids. When your best players are your hardest workers, you know the effect that can have as a coach. And also be willing to admit you're wrong. Coaches, you have to be willing to admit you're wrong and humble yourself. That gives you the ultimate buy-in because it shows you're human. It shows that you understand you're not infallible. If you can admit, hey, I wasn't doing my part in the 4th quarter. fellas, I made some bad adjustments, and I should have called a timeout, and I should have made some more correct plays. If you can admit that to your players, man, you have no idea how far that can go. I know there's times I've been wrong in a play, or I say, hey, get to the primary spots, and they go, Coach, they're in zone. And I go, oh, that's my bad. You're right. Go ahead and do what you guys are doing. Like, just that little interaction lets the players know that you're human and that you really are for them. Buy-in is so paramount if you want to see your teams evolve and have success. Not just follow directions. Any kid, any person can follow directions. But when they believe in your cause, when they believe that you know what you're doing, when they believe you have the best interest to make it happen, sorry, I had to adjust a little bit. If they can see you have their best interest to make things happen, man, you just have no idea. The limit, there's no limit to what your kids can do and perform. So, hopefully this makes sense to you guys. I know I'm speaking in kind of a lot of analogies and, I want to say metaphors and, it's not a lot of tangible that I can give to you, but that's what buy-in is. It's an emotional invoked response. But the power of that response is so paramount and essential in order to have a team succeed. I can't say this enough. Several ways, again, to get great buy-in. Admit when you're wrong. Easiest way. Team building exercises, right? Whether it be go out to dinner, take your kids to a movie, things like that go a long way. Younger, have them do barbecues, parties together when the summer hits and the weather's right. 3, accountability. Hold yourself accountable. Hold the kids accountable. They appreciate that. High-level players will always appreciate that, and they want to see that you're human. It's really just kind of one of those things you got to feel out as a coach. And there's certain kids that are going to rock with you and some that aren't, and that's okay. If you show that your most interest is to help them succeed, and then you go find them, some good teams or some people that can, more or less be the correct fit for them, I think that goes a long way. And, just be consistent. Be consistent in your philosophies. Be consistent in what you're saying, and the history will speak for itself. Now, with all that being said, thanks for tuning in. I know that's, my quick, little episodes and insight. I believe buy-in is paramount for your kids. Coaches, do the right thing. Do the right thing and be the person that can set the example. Be human, right? Mike Tyson said this, and I love this quote. He said, discipline is doing something you hate like you love it. So if you hate admitting what you're wrong, do it like you love it, and you will see the response out of your team and kids. I've done this quite a while, and I've played the game, and I still actively play it every now and then in my old man hoop. But I do love preaching the philosophy of just trying to help get these kids achieve to the next level and be more in life. With great buy-in, you can help these kids tap into sides of themselves that they didn't even know existed. But with that being said, thanks for listening for these couple minutes. Thank you to our sponsors. Again, Dr. Dish, West Coast Legends, Hardwood Palace. Links to them will be in the description. If you want to help the show out, the patrons, the PayPals, my Venmo's there. It really is appreciated. You can send $1, sign up. We get some exclusive content. I'm hoping to get some merchandise soon. Every little bit helps. Check out the main show, About That Life podcast. Check out some of the other Coaches Rize Times, and let me know what you think. Other than that, be safe, stay humble, stay hungry, and I'm out.